before you picked it up. That's a classic.
And they have asked me to join them for their weekly lunch, and I have wanted to be a part of this group. Hello, my Spugguns. It is I, Arthblood, the ghoul next door, and
The Huntress Lumina Shade.
And today is Thursday, March the 26th, 2020. And this is the last review of the season for Star Trek Picard.
Yeah.
Episode 10.
It was a good one.
So, oh wow, where did the episode start? Do you remember what happened at the very beginning of the episode?
Well, Picard was under lockdown.
Yes.
The Romulan had snuck aboard the Borg cube, and his sister was waiting for him there.
Right. And he stole, the one I've been calling Dr. Frankenstein.
Yeah.
He stole a whole bunch of bombs and left, and when he left the cube, the ninja warrior guy followed him, and he, Frankenstein went to the little spaceship and started throwing rocks.
Yeah.
And they're like, why are you doing that? You know, we're gonna...
And he holds up these grenades saying, I could throw these.
Yeah, he's like,
yeah.
I'm just throwing rocks. Then the Alison Pill character, the professor, she rips out the eyeball of the dead girl from last week, and she uses it to open a couple doorways and gets herself into the isolation chamber where Picard is under house arrest.
Yeah. And helps him escape.
Yep. We then learn that Dr. Frankenstein did not kill the robot girl from last week. It was, in fact, her sister.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They built that beacon to
yes,
summon...
They built a giant tower beacon thing to call forth their robot allies.
And they looked like bugs.
They look like giant bugs, centipede bug thingies.
Completely like synthetic bugs. Like you could tell that they weren't.
They were
alive.
robots. Yes, they were robot bugs. Ew. And then Picard and the Doctor or the Professor are on the spaceship, and they go into space and they try to fool a bunch of Romulan warships with holograms to make it look like there's a whole fleet of them, which works for a minute or two, and then they get shot down.
And they just disappear.
And then all of a sudden, what is his character's name? Jonathan Frakes. Riker, thank you. Riker shows up with a fleet of Starfleet.
Yeah, like pretty much all of Starfleet shows up behind the Romulans and boxes them in with their warp cores being targeted.
And he talks them down, so there's like not really any fighting. He
it
talks
wasn't
them
really
down.
only them. It was Picard and Soji with their communications and her stopping the beacon that really stops the Romulans.
Yeah. But Riker did manage to talk down the head of the Romulan war party. And then Picard
dies.
And we see in his consciousness has been downloaded to a computer, and in there the consciousness talks to Data's consciousness, and Data begs him to
end his life.
Yes. Then the evil Romulan sister, she's on the cube with 7 to 9, big cat fight, and then 7 to 9 pushes her over the
Yeah.
edge of a
Plummets to her death.
yes.
Yeah.
I think her parts are going to end up getting Borged. I think in season 2 she's going to come back Borged.
Yeah. And then I called it with the we were talking with Picard, like,
yes, my before you get to gloat, my theory was that they were going to either take him back to Riker's planet and put him in the magic soil, or that they were going to reborg him, or my third theory was that they were going to put his consciousness into a robot, a younger
Yeah.
version, and just have him like in the mind of the guy. But they didn't do that. They did
mine.
which was
They put him in the golem that wasn't finished, exactly how he was. Old. And exactly the same, just an android body with his consciousness, but it will die. It's not...
And so he's got absolutely no Borg pieces left.
No, he's got no android pieces. He's just 100%... Well, not 100... He's
synthetic, though.
He's synthetic, but he's also human.
But
he has an expiry and no enhancements.
Yeah, so that's kind of Blade Runner-ish again.
Yeah.
Coming back a couple weeks back, I mentioned Blade Runner, and that kind of has a Blade Runner feel to it because they gave him, like you said, an expiry date.
Yeah. I kind of just sensed that they would do it that way because Picard, probably doesn't want to live forever.
No, I thought they would go the other way because I thought with them having a second season and everything, that they would want to have a lead actor who can do
The action.
All the action stuff. But no.
No.
And then I was like, one thing I would have loved to have seen, I would have loved it if they had brought Tom Hardy, who played Shinzon, the clone of Picard in Nemesis. I would have loved it if they had brought him on as a younger version of Picard but they didn't go with a younger version. They went with
the same old Picard,
yeah,
which I liked.
Well, yeah, he's got to be in there one way, shape, or form for it to be able to be called Picard.
Yeah.
But I would have liked to, because it was the Romulans in Nemesis who created Shinzon. So it just kind of would
have fit with the story.
Yeah, it would
with
have
all
made
the
sense.
Romulans and the androids.
And we would have had a Hawkeye to look at.
Yeah. Well, how old is he now, though? Like, he's got to be older.
Tom Hardy?
Yeah.
Oh, he's like my age.
Yeah.
He's still young and hot.
Yeah. Picard's going to be 80 next year, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
45 is young and hot.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there for what was supposed to be the big finale of the season, it kind of just, it was a little low key.
Yeah. It did. Everything came together.
Yeah, everything made sense.
It finished it up. All the answers. Well, not all the answers. There's still cliffhangers for next season, like the being on the ship and being the crew.
And it looks like Seven of Nine will be a main character next season.
And it kind of seems like her and Michelle Hurd character,
Raffi,
are in a relationship.
Yeah, and they got the Alison Pill character and the pilot.
Yeah.
So, and our ninja samurai guy there, he's just tagging along for
Well, I think he's got his father figure now.
Yeah,
which, he was the most upset over his passing. So, it's kind of like a father-son relationship that Picard never had.
But they killed Data.
They did.
They flatlined him. I made the comment, maybe the actor Brent Spiner didn't want to have to play more than one character, because they do still have him as the brother scientist guy. So
And then I thought it
And
was
that's
just
a
for
lot
the
of makeup.
story.
That's a lot of
Because
makeup.
Data did die.
Yeah.
And I think he was just in the story to bring Picard out.
Yeah, to bring reason for a new story.
The life for the androids. And then he was in this computer in a simulation, which there's no stimulation in the simulation. Like, it was just all created, like, he was under house arrest.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's not a life.
No.
No.
Funny you should mention that at the time that we're recording this and what's happening in the world. House arrest and isolation is no life. No.
They kind of, like, we're kind of used to it in a way, but it's still, when you're being forced to stay home,
yeah,
it is not fun.
So basically, Data's consciousness was like I've been saying, digital was just along for the ride.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it was a decent episode.
It was. It made her cry a little bit. Made me almost cry a little bit.
I cried.
I was almost there. I still almost might.
I cried. I didn't cry like
just a tear,
but it was enough. It was enough to say that I cried. there was some snot. So I can't wait for next season.
Yes. I don't even I can't have I don't have any ideas on where it's gonna go. Like,
see, I do.
Yeah, you do. We kind of figured that the Romulans are along for the ride.
Yeah. The Borg cube is still stuck on the planet, so I think there's going to be things happening with the Borg cube. I still say the evil sister, the evil Romulan spy sister, I think that her parts are going to get Borged. Frankenstein is alive.
Yes.
And I know I have to say this every single review. I say, I know that's not the character's name, but the actor played him in Penny Dreadfuls.
Was he on the ship though when they were leaving, or was he did he go his own way? I don't remember seeing him and what he did. Maybe he stayed with Soji?
No, they kind of carried him away, and then middle of the episode, and we don't know what happened, so he could pop up anywhere.
Because he ended up in the group, helping stop this.
Yes, but the Romulans arrested him, so he could end up back on the ship, or he could end up on the cube, or he could end up being absorbed into, not the Romulans, sorry, the synths. He could end up being absorbed into their culture. His sorry,
any which way there.
Yeah, his character could go anywhere. Yeah, we've got a whole season or a whole year to go. I'm kind of hoping that the next season of Star Trek Discovery will pop up soon and kind of be the mid-fill. Yeah, because this was technically, it took its time slot.
Yeah.
So
it might just be the summer series now. Yeah.
Hard to say.
Yeah. And how many seasons are we into Discovery?
I think we're... Oh, make me do math. We're either about to start season 3 or season 4.
It's the only one I haven't watched yet, so we'll have to maybe
see if it's available.
Yeah.
Okay, so this season, 10 episodes, 10 weeks, it flew by. It did. Season 1 flew by, and
it was put together very well.
Yes.
Yeah.
And like I said, there wasn't
in the beginning there was a lot to talk about because there was
different
pieces of all over.
You were setting up this new world, basically this new mythology, and it had to go boom, 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 boom to get all the people and the points and the settings and everything. And the last 2 or 3 episodes.
Well, I noticed around the 5th episode where it kind of slowed down.
Yeah.
And then it just got slower. But it was all the answers for all the questions in the beginning. So, yeah. It
was a well-rounded season. Yeah. So, I think that might be everything we have to say. Okay, well, we'll be back. Maybe not next week. Maybe in a week or so, we'll be back with something to fill the time until next season.
Yeah, we could do Discovery too, though.
We could do a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
There's you know.
Yeah.
So I guess until then, until next time, I'm Ardith Blood, the ghoul next door.
And the Huntress, the Moon Shade.
And
Toodles.
Creeping Screams. You had to mention I cried?